Get over your fear of FOMO. Get over your fear of missing out because it's not real. Number one, that's one thing. FOMO isn't real at the end of the day. FOMO is something that you created in your head. You need to understand when you experience FOMO, when you're feeling some sort of way because people didn't invite you out or people didn't invite you to a party or you see everyone like having fun or you think people are getting ahead of you, understand it's not real. You created this fallacy, you created this like mental crutch in your head. So you need to just let it go. FOMO is not real. Sure, people might be at a party and they might be enjoying themselves, but that doesn't mean you're missing out on anything. And that leads into number two. You're not actually missing out on anything. Think about it. Think about think about in the last year, all the parties you've been to, all the times you've gone out. How many times did you actually have fun without the need for alcohol, weed, or some other substance? How many times? Tell me that. Tell me that. Okay? Chances are you can probably count on your hand, which isn't good since you probably go out like 2 to 3 times a week. So you need to understand you're not even missing out on anything. Most of the time, especially nowadays, like people be kind of like weird and like reserved when they go out. So like most of the time, the only thing you're missing out on is like people making a fool of themselves, acting drunk, and bad dance moves. And like there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here hating. I ain't got time for that. But understand, you're not missing out. And that just leads to number three. You need to be where your feet are. You need to be present. Like, where are you right now? Like, if everyone is outside and, they look like they living their best life, they at the club, they at the bar, they at some party, and you just chilling at home watching Netflix or anime, you need to understand, you would think that you having a great time because you probably enjoy watching anime, you probably enjoy watching Netflix, you probably enjoy sitting around chilling on the weekend. But the only reason that you even have this fear of missing out is because you see other people doing stuff and it's like a monkey see, monkey do sort of mindset. You're like, oh, they're doing that? I want to do that. No, bruh. Undo the conditioning. Stop being a follower and stop just blindly following trends because it's normal, because it's cool, because it's common. Like, no. Be where your feet are. If you choose to be present and be where your feet are, you're always going to be having a bunch of fun because you realize like you have everything you need right around you. All the things you need to make yourself happy, all the things you need to achieve your goals are right around you. You just need to look around and actually use it. So understand, for one, FOMO isn't real. You're not missing out on anything. You're just missing out on the perspective that you created in your head because 9 times out of 10, when you do go to these parties, they're not even that fun. When you do go out, you don't even have that much fun unless you're under the influence of some sort of drug. So, what are you really missing out on? Next, you need to be where your feet are. And this leads into number 4. You need to have goals and a mission. Because when you have goals and a mission, you don't have a fear of missing out because your main focus becomes achieving your goals and your mission. And 9 times out of 10, no, more like 99 out of 100 times, whatever you fear missing out on, like whether it's some party, whether it's some event, that doesn't actually correlate or have any effect on your goals. So you can really just forget about it. When you put your goals and your mission as the main focus of your life, which you really should, because that just makes everything else fall into place. I'll get into that in another video. But by having a goal and a mission, everything else falls into place because you can move through life accordingly. If my biggest goal is to go to the NFL, I'm not going to care when people are out partying because partying has no effect on me going to the NFL. Okay? If my biggest goal is to go to the NFL, I'm not going to care that I'm missing out on some event, that I'm missing out on some cool hangout or kickback because that doesn't have an effect on me going to the NFL. By having a main goal, a main focus, a main priority, a main mission, a main purpose, you're able to really cut out a lot of the bullshit, Like a lot of things that you thought were important really aren't important towards your main goal. So you can just forget about them. And that leads into the last point, which is just you got to have standards. Like once you raise your standards, you're not going to settle for less. Once you raise your standards of like, oh, I only want to go to like a nice mansion party. I only want to go to like a rooftop bar with high quality people that are really cool and have value to give. Then you're not going to care if you don't go out to the club one week and miss out on a bunch of people acting a fool and just getting like sloppy drunk. you're not gonna care that you miss out on going to the club, being around a bunch of sweaty motherfuckers with trash music playing loud as fuck, and then you walk out and you can't hear shit for hours. Like, you're not gonna care about that stuff when you raise your standards. Like, when you raise your standards, you're not gonna go after the low-hanging fruit, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna get into that, but you get what I'm saying. And the low-hanging fruit is generally the stuff that you fear missing out on because everyone's there. But remember, if everyone's there, that's not a good sign. Just like when it comes to stocks and stuff, think about it. Once everyone's talking about a stock, once you hear like a janitor talking about a stock, once you hear like people that have no idea what stocks are. Like, if my mom talks to me about a stock, I'm selling that stock. I'm not gonna lie. No offense, mom, but you're not the most knowledgeable when it comes to stocks. Like, my mom isn't the most knowledgeable when it comes to stocks. So if she starts talking to me about a stock, that means, okay, way too many people are invested in it. It's time to sell right now, sell high, and dip out. Essentially, y'all, avoid the majority. You shouldn't have a fear of missing out because your path should be so, like, you should be so focused on your path, and your path should be so interesting and fulfilling to you that if you miss out on going to a party, if you miss out on going to the club, going to the bar, or just some other event that everyone else is at, you really shouldn't care because you know deep down internally what you're doing is more important than that. So there you have it. Fear of missing out isn't real. You're not missing out on shit. Be where your 2 feet are, live in the present, have goals and have a mission, and just set higher standards for yourself. When you set those high standards, you're not going to settle for less. You're not going to settle for just little events and little stuff. Like, you're gonna go for the big one. Because another thing, quick little bonus, is that big goals and small goals take the same amount of time. They take the same amount of effort. So you might as well spend your time going for the big goals. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. With that being said, it's Suleiman. Follow me on X, TikTok, Instagram. Don't forget, check out my free workout guides below. And with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. It's Suleiman. I'm out.